Another interesting question is, and I do get this question a lot, is how to improve listening skills. And even though we already talked about different learning materials, but I think listening is usually a very challenging part because I mean I can imagine that from English learner perspective, such as myself many years ago. So what makes it really difficult is that you are trying to understand everything, and basically you want to understand everything on a perfectly native level, and yet there are so many words or phrases that people are using, and also we're using different intonations, we're using different accents, and you might simply not be able to follow everything. So I think one solution to this challenge would be, well, first of all, you have to understand something to yourself, that you cannot understand everything. Even native speakers listening to the same audio or same video, they might still struggle depending on the accent or depending on the topic subject. So it's not possible to understand everything, and you have to get the skill of just picking up some important key vocabulary and key phrases, and then being able to understand the meaning of this video or audio, because otherwise it would be very difficult for you to navigate every single term, every single word, and sometimes it's just not possible because it's outside of your area of expertise and just simply not expected from you to know every single word. So the key is just to stay focused and to understand as much as you can, and then later maybe improve and expand, learn more vocabulary and so on.
So what level of English learner are we talking about here?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we are talking about basic learner or people with at least low intermediate skills, and they usually struggle. They have a lot of trouble because we are trying to listen to native conversations, and they can perfectly understand things like podcasts. Like there are so many podcasts that are especially designed for English learners, and those podcasts are very easy because people like slow down to the level where everyone can understand everything, right? So that's how the podcast goes. And now we switch to a normal conversation where we'll say like, everyone is able to understand everything. It's the same phrase, but they said it 5 times faster, right? So that's why it's so difficult.
That's fair. I mean, to me, I think the biggest issue is this.
Mm-hmm.
The biggest issue is that people are not listening enough.
Yeah.
And when I say not enough, I mean time.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, a lot of time when people thinking about learning language, they think about this word, efficiency.
Yeah.
Okay. They think about how to learn the most in a certain amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, that's a great goal in of itself. But sometimes, in order to get to a baseline, certain amount of time is needed. So what I'm saying is that, what I mean by that is that until you put in that much amount of time, it doesn't matter whether or not you're gaining it faster than others. Without putting that much amount of time in there, you're simply not going to get to a point where you will feel comfortable, basically. So a lot of time I would say that if you're finding challenges with listening skills, a very simple solution is to brute force it. And by that I mean listening to it a lot. So maybe maybe install a speaker system in your shower. So that way when you wake up in the morning, first thing you turn on is English, listening to English radios or whatever. Or just listen to the same, I mean, and obviously you should change it up, but just listen to one program over and over again if you want. Then after you say, I'm so bored of this program, switch to a different program. But start from getting up in the morning, wake up to an English alarm, go to the shower, listening to English radios in the shower. Get into the car, listening to English channels in the stereo. Go to work, put on your speakers, listening to English stuff. When you get home, watching English stuff and listening to more English stuff. I promise you, at a certain point, you will find that, oh my God, I understand what everybody is saying. If you're willing to put in that effort, that amount of time into it, basically.
Yeah. It sounds challenging, but actually it works. It works wonders. It's something that actually everyone should try and try to do it, because it's natural. I mean, of course, if we just only listen to things from time to time, I think the progress will be very slow, if there will be any progress at all. Because
it's a 2-step forward, maybe 3-step back type of situation, right?
Yeah. And I'm a big fan of active listening myself, where I would recommend, instead of listening to long videos or long audios, I would recommend to listen to short ones and just make sure that you understand everything they said, and also try to rephrase it. So we already have a video about this technique of rephrasing. So now we can actually use this technique. It's active listening, it's rephrasing. Ask them a question. Like, for example, let's say, okay, so you guys are talking about blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. But actually, in my experience, I never had this kind of trouble. I was always able to do this. So I think what you're saying is not really relevant to my context or my professional experience. So even saying the simple things, you already feel more confident. It's just like you now believe that actually you can jump into that conversation and you can say something meaningful. So it's no longer like you are just listening to it.
Right.
So that's what active listening is about.
Yeah, a lot of people have difficulty to try to participate in the conversation because they cannot keep up with the rate of information through listening. You know. And honestly, when I hear that, I'm thinking that that's the person who hasn't spent a lot of time listening, basically. You really just gotta put on those earphones and listen to something from sunrise to sundown, and then just from dusk to dawn, right? Just listen to it throughout the whole thing, and throughout the whole time, just get used to hearing people speaking English. Then once you are used to the intonations and everything, then you will find not only that you're able to understand it and listen to it, but your own accent will also improve. You will find that you now know how native speakers speak. So therefore, you will speak the same way. You will not try to speak the way that you were taught in school, basically. So, just listen a lot more, basically. That's my recommendation.
Plus, of course, and reflect on what you are listening. So, do some follow-ups, make it active listening as much as you can.
Right.
All right.
Okay, awesome.